One thing I wanted to talk to you about is this plan that these extreme Zionists want, which is for everybody to hate Israel. Because it's prophesized that the world will go to war with Israel and God will step in.
Yeah.
So these old crazy people are following a script, a biblical prophecy script, and trying to get everybody to hate Israel.
Okay, guys, got Sam on the show today. Did you get a speeding ticket on the way here?
I did not get a speeding ticket.
Okay, you're 17-3 though.
I'm 17-3 in traffic court. I cross-examine the cops. I was telling your friends I get out tickets all the time. The craziest story ever is in 1999. I was hosting a bikini contest at the Key Club. And this is because I have a problem with drugs and alcohol, and I'm sober now. So they're paying me in drink tickets, and I'm completely and utterly blackout drunk by the time the bikini contest comes. So it's like 5 hot, angry LA chicks, like Smoke Show LA hot, and then one cute chick. And the cute chick knows she's in trouble. So the hot chicks walk up and down, everyone cheers, and then the cute chick goes and just basically pulls her pants down, shows everybody her magic. And this was in 99 when seeing a girl's magic parts meant something. It was like a spiritual moment. Place goes nuts. I'm so drunk I don't even read the paper. I just announced that the girl who showed her privates won. And turns out that the owner of the club had his girlfriend in it, and he rigged it for his girlfriend. So he went nuts on me, and security grabbed me and just literally threw me out of the club. So I'm blackout drunk. I get in my car. I drive 10 feet. I get pulled over by the cops. And the cops are like, so they pulled me out of the car, and I'm like, oh, I'm in trouble, dude. I'm going to get DUI. They go, so what happened? What's going on tonight? I go, you want to know? And they go, yeah. I go, I hosted a bikini contest. A girl showed her magic, and she lost. And they go, hold on. What? They go, a girl showed her magic, her bits, and she lost. I go, yeah, in America. They go, that sounds like communism. I'm like, 100%. The hand of God, they put me in my car, and they gave me a police escort home.
No way.
That's a true story. I just got out of a ticket. I was with a guy named Shane Cashman, and we were in West Virginia. And his plates, something wrong with his plates or his lights. We get pulled over. He starts freaking out. The cop walks up, knocks on my window. I go, I got this. Rolls down the window. He goes, hey, man, what's going on, boys? I go, oh, we're just comedians doing a comedy show. We just got done doing Tim Pool's comedy show. He goes, you're comedians. Tell me a joke. I go, Joe Biden was a great president. He starts laughing, and he let us go.
Smart.
Yeah.
So you usually talk your way out of it?
Yeah, I read the room.
I feel like if you're a good talker, you could talk your way out of most tickets.
Yeah, I mean, most girls cry. That's how they get out of it.
Yeah.
I'm convinced that's why their insurance is so low, because they cry to get out of tickets. We got to talk our way out of tickets.
Yeah, which is weirder that their rate's lower than guys, because they probably get in more accidents, if I had to guess.
Yeah, but they don't get the tickets. I mean, everyone thinks women are horrible drivers, but for some reason their insurance is much lower. I don't know, man. One of my algorithms on YouTube is just cop body cam footage.
I get those too.
And just watching people talk themselves into felonies is just, I have really bad copophobia. I just give me the ticket, sir. Let me go. Yeah. These guys talk. It's really crazy.
A lot of them escalate it.
They escalate it because they're drunk. It's like drunk and mental illness.
Yeah. A
lot of borderline personality disorders.
Yeah.
You see this happen. They think they can yell at the cop and get out. It's like, just get your ticket and go. And I was telling your friend about fighting tickets. I fight them all the time.
I just had a guest go viral on my show. He was basically saying he doesn't want cops. What's your opinion on having?
Well, I mean, go live in San Francisco then. Go live in Chicago. Go live in the subway of New York. I mean, the problem is that we have very idealistic views on it. We think everyone's going to work together, and we've seen it doesn't.
Yeah.
You have to. So it's like I have a drug problem. I'm sober for almost 5 years. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, if I can get to December, I'll have 5 years. There has to be a deterrent. There has to be some resistance.
Yeah.
We can't have people just doing drugs in the open in front of everybody. Back when I was young, you had to find some weird place in a hotel or something like that. You can't have it out in the open.
Right.
If you don't have any resistance or the threat of punishment, people just act out of pocket. So I don't know if the answer is no cops, because we've seen what happens when the cops don't do anything, and it's chaos.
Yeah.
Right? And so, the cat named Owen Benjamin talks about this a lot. Like, if you get rid of the government, you get rid of the police, someone will fill that void. A gang, some militia, and now you're just dealing with another set of authority. I just don't know if we can live in that world where you don't have any kind of authority to deal with. I understand less government, like if you want to put a patio or something on your property, you shouldn't have to get a permit to do that, so they could just soak you for more money. That's fee of entry.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind getting rid of fee of entry, because that just allows the elites to be able to afford to do it, and people can't change their economic outlook because they can't open a business. But you have to have some sort of a semblance of authority to keep people from acting out of pocket. A society needs 4 pillars to work. They need to outlaw violence. They need to outlaw stealing. They need to outlaw hurting children, and we must shun lying. Right now, none of that's in our society, because if you ever get a chance to watch it, it's a really great documentary called The Capitalist Conspiracy by G. Edward Griffin. And basically what it is pressure from above, pressure from below. Okay? And it's basically when you have no faith in your politicians and crime is everywhere, people's anxiety is high, and basically what they want is martial law. And you're seeing that play out right now.
National Guard.
This is what they want. Now, when Trump brings in the National Guard to Washington, D.C., he's not really violating any laws, because Washington, D.C. is not part of the United States. It's a sovereign territory. There's a bunch of sovereign territories, but the big 4 are Washington, D.C., the City of London, not London, but the City of London, inside of London, the Vatican, and then the Bank of International Settlements in Switzerland.
Wow.
And when you're a sovereign territory, you follow no laws, you pay no taxes, and you govern yourself.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, those are...
So if you live in D.C., you don't...
Technically, you're not part of the United States.
Whoa, so you don't have to pay taxes?
No, you do, because that's the illusion.
Oh.
They make you pay taxes because taxation is theft, and they're just stealing your money. If the Fed prints money, why do we need to pay taxes?
Right.
But that's the illusion. That is how they put anxiety in. Whenever tax season starts, people freak out. I got to give the guy, if you start doing really well in life, you'll get offered a gig or some opportunity, and then they'll be like, well, let's say I'm throwing out a random number. They're like, we're going to give you $100,000, right? Now you got to pay taxes on that. It's actually a tax is a penalty for success, and welfare is basically giving you, what's it called? It's an endorsement. No, that's not the word. I'm trying to think about what the word I'm saying. It's an incentive for failure.
Welfare is.
You're encouraging people to not work.
And get paid for it. Yeah.
And get paid for it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we could be heading towards universal basic income, they say.
That's what they want. I mean, now conspiracy theorists have been talking about this forever, about how they're basically going to take the trillions of dollars that they're in debt and move it into crypto, which will alleviate them of the debt. And conspiracy theorists have been talking this forever. And now Putin and Russia have come out and said that's basically what America's going to do. They're going to move all their debt into crypto.
I don't know if the liquidity's there yet, because the market cap's only like a couple billion, right?
Yeah, so we'll see how it works. I mean, again, they can, all of our money used to be backed by gold. I found out this really interesting story. It's called the Money Masters. And I was told by my friend Ben over this weekend. I was in Chicago, and he was telling me that Nixon is the one who took us off the gold standards. Everyone thinks it's because of oil. No, because they had gone to the Fort Knox, and all the gold was gone.
This was back in the day?
Yeah, back in the day when Nixon takes us off the gold standard because there was no gold. The Rockefellers had taken all the gold and gave it to their rich friends. There's no gold in Fort Knox.
Didn't they replenish it? Or
no? Oh, I mean, that's what they told us, but
wow.
It doesn't exist.
They won't let people audit it, too.
They won't let them audit it because there's no gold there. So FDR, which everyone loves, he basically made it illegal to own gold, so everyone gave up their gold to the government. And they basically took it and gave it to their friend and gave it to all their rich friends. So there's no gold.
That's nuts.
Yeah, I mean, we're ran by criminals.
That is crazy. Yeah.
There's no gold.
So we're never going back to the gold standard then.
I don't see how we could, but we're ran by criminals.
Yeah. Well, the dollar's going to fail eventually, right?
Yeah, it's already there. And our dollar's doing better than other people's dollars. You go to these other countries, they're just
down like 90%.
The dollar's really strong right now. The rest of the world, it's like they're hemorrhaging.
Yeah.
And it's just all done to enslave us, to basically control us through money. It's called have you ever heard of the Bank of International Settlements?
I haven't actually.
Yeah, that is the head of the centralized banking system. So I always get these fights with the Hitler dick riders. I don't know if we can swear on this show.
You can.
But the Hitler dick riders who think Hitler was fighting the bankers, which is absolutely ridiculous. And then they try to act like it's 5D chess where like, oh, he took banker money so he could do that. Dude, they had, after World War I, Germany was on lockdown. If anyone tells you that they know who Hitler's biological grandfather is, they're lying to you because no one's sure. They always say it's this guy, but that's really his step-grandfather.
Mm.
Hitler's grandfather is most likely a Rothschild, and it wasn't the OSS, which was the original CIA, or his therapist that told him that. It was his niece who he was having sexual relations with.
What?
That told everybody that Hitler was a Rothschild, and then she mysteriously died.
Holy crap.
And then the woman who told us that the gold was gone was a Rockefeller secretary, and then right after 2 days later, she mysteriously jumped off her balcony.
Wow.
Yeah, they'll kill you, dude.
Look what happened to Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, 100%.
You know too much truth and you expose it on that
well,
level.
It's like Charlie Kirk's death, sadness, rest in peace, is no different than all the rappers, no different than Tupac, no different than Michael Jackson, no different than Prince. What happens is when they blow you up and they build your brand and you want to go off reservation, they can't stand that. Somebody was telling me that they were thinking about putting all their own concert films on their own website under like a premium content thing. Mm-hmm. And someone told them, well, you better cut in these guys who blew you up because they don't like it when they make you huge and you keep all the money for yourself.
Wow, so it's all about money for these guys.
Everything's about money. It's like, why are the Rolling Stones still touring? Because they're owned.
Yeah.
Bob Dylan talks about how he sold his soul. So that's why doing it yourself is the best way to go. But once you have backers like that, you got to pay them to the end of time.
Yeah, Charlie did have a lot of big funders, right?
He had a lot of Zionist funders.
Yeah.
Dude. There's this whole fight about what happened and who's behind it. It's a professional hit.
You don't think that kid did it, the 22-year-old?
No. Why would he not confess to it when he's in jail right now?
I think he just came out today saying he didn't do it. That's what I saw on Twitter.
100%. He's a patsy. This is the playbook. This is what they've done all the time. The rifle that they said found doesn't fit the rifle that they say used. You see him running off the roof. People think there's a moment where you see a gun because it looks like it's a long thing. But then he jumps down and the bag gets super floppy.
No.
It doesn't make any sense. Why would a guy who lived 200 miles away drive in? They had people coming to his house with out-of-state plates. This is it. Look at what they did with the governor of Michigan kidnapping. Do you know that story?
No.
They said that these guys, these militias, were going to try to kidnap the governor. Then it turned out that 13 of the 15 kidnappers were Fed operatives.
Holy crap.
And they not only were they Fed operatives, the FBI was paying all their expenses. They have a paper trail.
That is nuts.
Yeah, everything's about manipulating energy and manipulating how you see the world.
Yeah, I know.
Everything is fake. Your food, your culture, people mistake their culture for their heritage. Your culture is not your heritage. Look at the rap game. Look at what's her name? Foxy Red or whatever her name is. Sexy Red. She's a CIA plant. Just like all these, like NWA was a CIA operation. Everything on television, everything on the news, everything on the internet, for the most part, is fake and gay.
That's so nuts. Now, you've studied history, so when do you think this started becoming like super mainstream? When do you think they started infiltrating all these big spaces?
I think around the 1500s,
Oh,
something
that long ago.
changed. Yeah.
Wow.
That's when the supposedly Rothschild empire started, which I don't believe that story either.
You don't believe the Rothschilds?
No, I believe the Rothschilds are real, but the story about him being this super uber smart guy who's like running a firm at like 13 years old, he was planted in there. See, what they do is data, dude. Everything's data. Oh, they're studying data. Like, have you heard the GATE program?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's data. Who's a psycho? Who's super smart? Who's a psycho super smart? And they just push them forward. Why is Pornhub free? Why can we watch porn for free? Because they're just finding out who's watching the weird stuff. Who has political aspirations in these guys watching the weird stuff. And then they push you slowly. Someone comes up and, kind of pushes you this way. Next thing you know, you're running for office. And then they just set you up, so they got you. And I mean, Mark Rubio, they say, he did some shady stuff back in the day. Bill Clinton got an SA charge early on in his college career.
Wow.
So they get you, they lock you up. Everyone, like the cocaine of the 80s, everyone thought was coming into Florida, is really coming in Arkansas through Bill Clinton.
I've talked to Pablo. This is crazy, actually. I've talked to Pablo Escobar's pilot. He's been on my show.
Yeah.
And he has confirmed what
You
you're
got a
saying.
great show, man.
He said it off camera, to be fair, but you're the second person now saying that Clinton was involved in that. So
100%. His bodyguards talked about it all the time.
Yeah.
And his own bodyguards, like the most dangerous job in the world is to be a Clinton bodyguard.
Yeah, look at
The
the
percentage of that die are just humongous.
Clinton body count. It's over 100, right? Pretty nuts. I mean,
So nuts. You got all these progressive entertainers talking about fascism, getting mad at my friends for having Trump on their podcast. And you're like, you guys, I know guys who had Obama on, right? I know comics in LA who did Hillary Clinton's television show on Apple.
yeah.
Like, this is a chick who was directly connected to the illegal assassination of Muammar Gaddafi, which had caused open-air slave trades and allowed the influx of immigration into Europe.
That's nuts. I didn't know about that one.
Yeah, dude. There's like a small group of just Archon reptilians that run the world.
Reptilians?
Reptilians, Archons, Black Cube of Saturn, just all these people that worship dark arts.
Yeah, I've had them go after me. They've gone after Russell Brand, I know for sure.
They went after you?
Yeah,
Oh,
in my
geez.
dreams.
Oh, yeah. Well, I had a crazy dream the other day.
Gave me nightmares for months straight. I talked to my psychic. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? There's like a group of over 100 of them that just target certain people.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The group that targeted me of reptilians was like 140 of them or something.
Really?
Yeah, and they went after Russell Brand too, the same group.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a dangerous game, dude.
It's a dangerous game.
It's a dangerous game.
Because they
dude.
couldn't get me while I was waking, but in my dreams they were able to infiltrate my
They were
subconscious and give me nightmares.
traumatizing you.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. Because through MK Ultra, they've learned that the more traumatized you are, the more highly suggestible you are.
Yeah.
And then you get into people talking about this Charlie Kirk thing, and how there's some thoughts of voice to skull technology.
What's up?
Where they basically can talk to you in your head.
Oh shit.
Yeah, they've been doing that for years.
Voice to skull.
Yeah.
Wow. Is that while you're awake or while you're sleeping?
While you're awake, while you're sleeping, while you're awake, they can do it whenever.
Shit.
Yeah, I mean, weather manipulation, direct energy weapons. Everyone thinks that they're hitting them with direct energy weapons, but they're using weather to cause these fires, dude. And I've had a guy named Jim Lee on my show, and he talks about they don't even need direct energy weapons. They can use high pressure, low pressure weather systems to basically annihilate very specific things.
Wow.
When we see these fires, right? We see houses destroyed, but trees are fine. How's that possible? You talk to people, they're like, well, they have water in the trees. I'm like, well, what caused the fire? Well, it was a drought. Well, is it a drought, or do the trees have water in them? So, it's like literally they've hardwired mysticism.
That is crazy.
It's straight up Doctor Strange shit.
Even hurricanes they're saying they can control now.
Earthquakes.
There was a big earthquake in Russia, I think earlier this year.
100%. They can do all that stuff. Weather manipulation, geographical manipulation, all that stuff.
That is nuts.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we're dealing with. Sorcerers.
You think they're running that out of Antarctica?
Shout out to today's sponsor, Quince. As the weather cools, I'm swapping in the pieces that actually gets the job done, that are warm, durable, and built to last. Quince delivers every time with wardrobe staples that'll carry you through the season. They have fall staples that you'll actually want to wear, like the 100% Mongolian cashmere for just $60. They also got classic fit denim and real leather and wool outerwear that looks sharp and holds up. By partnering directly with ethical factories and top artisans, Quince cuts out the middleman to deliver premium quality at half the cost of similar brands. They've really become a go-to across the board. You guys know how I love linen and how I've talked about it on previous episodes. I picked up some linen pants and they feel incredible. The quality is definitely noticeable compared to other brands. Layer up this fall with pieces that feel as good as they look. Go to quince.com/DSH for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. They're also available in Canada too.
Have you ever seen the show Ninjas Are Butterflies?
No.
They're really great, dude. They're out of Florida. They have one of the best shows out there, and they were doing something about how the first composite picture of Earth from space was basically all these pictures put together, but there's a black hole at the top, so you can't see what's there. And then the Google Map, if you go to Google Map, there's a black hole at the top. Something's going on in there that they don't want us seeing.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is nuts.
The moon's not real.
You think it's like a hologram?
It's a portal.
A portal? To what?
I've been talking about how Pac-Man is based off the moon. They think that it's a portal to come in and out of this realm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Pac-Man, if you watch Pac-Man, you see him, what does he do? He eats those dots that look like stars. And what does he do? He chases ghosts or spirits. He eats them. What happens? They get reborn. It's just the story of our life. I think we're in a soul trap.
So you think our souls ascend to the moon, to the next dimension?
Yeah. Oh, and then either go out and then come right back in. They always tell you to go in the light. What if that light is the moon? That's how you get through here.
Holy crap.
Yeah, I mean, it's that's what we're up against. You know, you got all these great political pundits talking about everything through resources and money. It's like, it's spiritual warfare, dude. All these things are mass sacrifice. Like the Hawaii fires.
Yeah.
Where are those kids? They're all gone. Mass sacrifice. Most of those cars that were on fire, none of them had their doors open, meaning people trying to escape. It's like, it's crazy.
All these wars, too.
All these wars. I mean, if you study the Ukrainian war, you know, Zelensky is Jewish, and deep into his roots, Putin's Jewish, and they've killed 1 million white Christians over there.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That is
they're
crazy.
grabbing guys and sending them to the meat grinder. They're grabbing you off the street, and they're sending you to war to die.
It's insane.
And when does the Ukrainian war start? Right when the story about COVID ends.
All nuts, man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
COVID got a lot of people, too. I don't even want to know the numbers on that.
Oh, have you heard what happened to China?
No.
So there's a bunch of people on the internet talking about how China lies about their population.
Yeah.
So forever we've been told there's 1.4 billion. But when you look at the statistics before COVID, there's about 900 million. That's the actual number. And then after COVID, they based on statistics like they found that China lied about kids in schools. They make up kids. They're fake fake numbers. The amount of funeral homes have quadrupled. And the amount of salt that China imports from Japan has been cut in half.
Wow.
So they think China's actual population right now is about 450 million.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So during COVID, there's a belief that possibly 400 to 450 million people died.
Oh my God.
And they basically killed off the elderly and killed off the poor. And, you know, if you have to keep your population at a certain number, you have to have basically 2.2 children. And China's had a one-kid policy forever.
Yeah.
How are they maintaining their population? Everything is just
that's nuts.
Manipulation.
So now it makes me wonder, with the COVID stuff, was that planned as a weapon
100%.
to wipe out China?
No, well, to wipe out the lower the population. I mean, Bill Gates talks about vaccines work to lower the population by 15%, 15 to 20%.
Jesus.
Yeah, dude. It's crazy. I saw somebody talking about how like they've noticed that all their friends that got the vaccine, they're acting different.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it. So I had these guys from the Nephilim Death Squad on there, a really great podcast. And they came on and told me that the guy who created MK Ultra, I forget the name of the doctor, but he had studied that if you actually put metal in somebody, you can transmit thoughts into people's heads. And then you think about cavities, how we're all putting metals in our teeth, right? They say up to 80% of your thoughts aren't even yours.
Holy shit.
Right? And you're talking about your dreams and shit like that?
I definitely think they could plant thoughts in your head.
100%.
Yeah. I've been, to be honest, after the Charlie Kirk thing, I've been having some really negative thoughts the past week.
Oh, dude. Well, you know what's so funny? The night before Charlie Kirk happened, I was at the Comedy Store. I have a really big show at the store called Comedy Chaos. And I got out of the car. I go, dude, the energy is weird. There's weird energy in the world. I've had a bunch of weird things. When you get sober, the blessing is that the problems in your life tend not to be from your actions. They tend to be the actions of people around you.
Yeah.
So I had friends of mine that got caught up in some really dark shit. And I was just like, dude, it's been a bad week, man. And then I was at the store. I'm like, dude, the energy right now just in the world is very, very dense.
Yeah.
Low vibrational. And then the next day, boom, Charlie Kirk is
crazy.
We were podcasting when it happened.
Holy shit.
You know, and they're muddying the waters too, dude. There's a lot of like, is it this guy? Is it this guy? Is it that guy?
Yeah.
That's called nonlinear warfare. So you don't know if you're coming or going. It's an old KGB play.
Yeah.
Where basically the state funds both sides. That's why so many of these content creators are in fact plants.
Yeah.
And they're
with you on that.
They're there just to cause chaos. And so you don't know if you're coming or going. You don't know what the truth is. So when I talk to people, because, you know, I've been in the conspiracy since I was a kid. You know, my father taught me, don't believe, and this was in the 80s, don't believe anything don't believe anything you hear and half of what you see. Now with AI, it's like, don't believe anything you hear or anything you see.
Facts.
You know, you kind of got to hold off on coming up with what you think happened. And this is just what they're doing. This is just how it's going. It's psychological, spiritual warfare.
Yep. They blame the left at first, then they blame Fuentes. Now they're blaming the trans movement. Now they're blaming Israel. It's just all over the place.
Yeah, because it's divide and conquer. Because what people don't realize is that we are way more powerful than them, and they have to do our bidding. It's just this weird occult rule, revelation of the method. All that stuff, they can't. It's like a very old movie called The Lost Boys. It's way before your time, but it's about vampires in the valley, and the head vampire can't come in the house unless you invite him. So they have to get us to tell them the green light. That's what 9/11 was about. It's about manipulating energy so that we grant them to go over there and just slaughter it.
Okay.
They can't do it. So now they've been trying to pass these anti-Semitism bills, and they're not getting across because we won't let them do it. Like Ricky Rubio, the best player. Mark Rubio was like, we're going to basically revoke U.S.-born citizens' passports. And people had a giant visceral reaction to it, and they dumped it. I wish people would understand that if we have more in common than we don't. And if we just got along and stopped fighting over these little details, we could take everything over.
Yeah.
But we keep fighting over black and white, straight and gay, man, women. All that stuff is old Marxism. It's all Marxism playbook.
Yeah, it's a low IQ argument at this point.
100%. And you can't get anyone to, because all these ideas, what we're really what's the real problem we have is a bunch of trust fund kids whose life are really easy, and they just fight windmills, shadows in the cave. You know, Don Quixote battling windmills wasn't really a monster, and that's what they do because everything since the moment they were born, their whole life, they've had everything they ever wanted. They
Yeah.
were born in the best hospitals, lived in gated communities, went to private schools, private colleges, got juiced into their jobs. They've never really had anything.
No struggle.
A struggle. So they have to find struggle, right? Like trans kids, there's not enough of them to change the way we act in society. But when you're a rich kid, every bad idea ever pushed forward was done by a rich kid, whether it was Karl Marx or Lenin or any of these things. They're all rich kids who are bored with their lives, who hate their dads, and just come up with these utopian ideas that are never going to happen.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I don't care whether it's capitalism, we are not in a pure capitalist society. We are in a social, corporate socialism society, but pure capitalism where everyone can compete is the way you want to go.
Yeah.
But even if you went with communism, there are always going to be psychopaths and super smart people that are going to game the system every freaking time. And, if you look at California, the number one employer in the state is, in fact, the government. So you're going to have more and more people voting for their best needs, which is more government. And the bigger the budget gets, the more people they got to hire. And most of your money just goes to pay administration costs and nothing really gets done. Example is homelessness, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you'll never cure homelessness if people's jobs depend on their being homeless.
Yeah, it's backwards thinking.
Someone brought this up yesterday to me. Maybe it was Ben again, but he was talking about how the liberals are really mad that the Republican governors and mayors were sending immigrants all over the world, which I think is all part of the play to move assets all over the place, right? Because a lot of these guys are military-born people from other countries. So why are they here? They didn't come here with their families. You don't see them with kids. Most people, when they leave their country for a better life, they bring their family with them. These guys are all military-age people. So I think these governors were moving military assets to other cities, But let's just say it's what it is, that they're trying to make these Democratic mayors and governors pay for these ridiculous sanctuary cities and stuff like that, right? So you got the liberals and progressives getting angry that he's sending all these immigrants all over the place. But California literally tells the rest of the state to send their homeless to us. How's that any different?
Sounds like Cali.
Sounds like Cali. I mean, it's just gotten crazier and crazier.
Yeah. Well, Newsom's going to be leaving shortly, right?
Well, I mean, but now they're just astroturfing that people like him. I don't know one person who likes
And you live
Newsom.
here, right?
And the problem with the L.A., San Francisco, Chicago, New York is that these progressives all have learned helplessness. They've been traumatized so much. They have Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
They love and support their captors. I mean, dude, how is Karen Bass still mayor? How is Governor Newsom still governor when they stole all the fire relief money? They basically got rid of all the water. They were told the firefighters not to stop the fires. I mean, that's Bolshevik shit.
Yeah.
It's all Bolsheviks. They're just foreign agents trying to destroy, because you can't attack America. You'll get sent home in a body bag.
Yeah.
So you have to weaken it from within. So if you study the left-right paradigm, you study Republicans, Democrats, the Democrats will always give the left, the progressives, what they want, because progressives want subversion. They want to weaken our institutions and our archetypes, right? They want to destroy them, tradition. They want to destroy tradition. So the Democrats will mostly, not all the time, but for the most part, give the progressives what they want, because it weakens the country. The Republicans play to the conservatives. The conservatives want a stronger family unit, better education, stronger police force, stronger military, stronger, economy. All those things strengthen the country. And that's why the Republicans don't give them anything they want. They'll give them little things like kick trans out of bathrooms and out of women's sports, but they'll never give them anything real. Right. Because it's all about weakening us to the point that they can throw out the Constitution and bring in Marxism, which is totalitarianism. And it's also very funny about all these people who got fired celebrating Charlie Kirk's. It's like, I hate to tell you all, but the progressive left created cancel culture. Well, I mean, the Republicans way back in the day, you know, when they would, you know, Tipper Gore put warnings and stuff like that on records. But the modern day cancel culture has been pushed by, you know, the progressive left. Like, how is celebrating Charlie Kirk, getting fired for celebrating Charlie Kirk's assassination any different than what happened to Shane Gillis?
Yeah, I don't like it. There's a whole website database, 40,000 people on it.
Yeah, they're going to
People
fire
are
them
calling
all.
their workplaces to fire them.
But this is the thing you got to understand, right? It's like, let's take a look at like the pro-choice people. The pro-choice people, especially in California, are all my body, my choice. But then they're anti-choice on vaccines. How is that? How do those two things work? Well, once you're okay with fascism against people you don't like, just know it will come back and go after you.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening with cancel culture, right? You get rid of Shane Gillis, you get rid of all these comics. Anybody who celebrated George Floyd's death or any of that stuff, right? You fire them from your job. Now it's happening to you. You made the rules. You made the rules. This is what happens. Now, a lot of people talk about free speech. Getting fired from your job has nothing to do with free speech. Free speech is the government arresting you, throwing you in jail for speaking out against the government. That's free speech.
Yeah.
And now we're seeing that right now, trying to pass these anti-Semitism laws.
Yep.
You know, if you're a business and you don't want to work with Israel, they're going to try to destroy your business. That is a violation of the First Amendment. And the Republicans are doing that. Right?
Yeah.
But once you're okay with that, they'll come and then they'll come back around. If you speak out against U.S. government, they're going to start destroying your business. Once listen, I am pro-choice, but above that is I will never concede an inch, a millimeter to the government telling me what I can do with my body. I think children are a blessing. If you're pregnant, children are a blessing. Okay, you should have the kid. But I'm not going to allow the government to tell me what I can and cannot do.
Facts.
That is you have to have that line. The minute you concede any of that, it's done. The only thing keeping us going is the First Amendment, Second Amendment. And they totally want to throw that whole thing out.
Yeah.
Is this a weird episode?
No.
Okay.
I'm loving this.
Okay.
Yeah. No,
I like your style, dude.
they're constantly attacking those amendments, and it looks like we're heading towards a mass surveillance society at the moment as well.
Yeah, Palantir.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
That's the future.
Yeah, that's it.
They
And
want us living in
Palantir, they
fear.
lie. The worst thing is that they lie. Like Palantir's like, we couldn't get an NSA contract because we wouldn't spy on Americans. Like, what are you talking about? That's all you're going to do is spy on Americans. There's like, I saw someone said there's like 190,000 cameras all over the country.
Jesus.
They're not supposed to do that.
And they can't find out the shooter on Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, I mean, so if you study that, the population of that campus was 40,000. When you have that kind of size population, you tend to have about 2,000 cameras.
Wow.
This school had only 400 cameras. 400 to 500 cameras. Where's the camera of that shot?
They
Where's
had
the
a camera allegedly. I don't know if you saw this, like facing the crowd,
Yeah.
but no one can find that footage.
Or how about the fact that for some reason, the people from his organization totally dismantled the crime scene,
I saw
which
that.
is exactly what happened on 9/11.
Yeah, I saw that. You think it was an inside thing?
100%. He was going off the reservation.
Yeah, he was starting to question some stuff.
Why is Netanyahu doing interviews all the time saying it wasn't them?
He was
Over and over. He's done like 5 or 6 of them.
pretty quickly off there too.
I think the lady protests too much, methinks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's totally it. China hasn't said they didn't do it. Iran hasn't said they didn't do it. It makes no sense. Yemen didn't say they didn't do it. Only Israel does it. So everyone calls you a Jew hater. My girlfriend's Jewish. I love Jews. You wouldn't even know who I am if it wasn't for Jews. My girlfriend and Mitzi Shore. Jews are wonderful people. They're wonderful people. But they've been brainwashed, and it's been drilled into them the importance of Israel. And I don't get mad at them when they can't criticize Israel because it goes against their programming.
Yeah.
Right? It's just everything they've learned their entire life from their grandmas and their moms and their grandpas has been Israel, Israel, Israel. I do not hate them. But My opinion is this. I don't believe in protected classes. I don't care what happened in the past. Show me a demographic, I'll show you a genocide. Because if we're following those rules where you can't talk about a group because something bad happened, why do we talk about China? Why do we talk about Russia? Why do we talk about Germany? Why do we talk about any of these people? They've all had giant genocides done to them. Everyone talks about the Holocaust. Nobody talks about the democide where the Japanese killed up to roughly 14 million Chinese.
Wow.
Nobody talks about that. Do you even know that?
No.
No, the democide.
They didn't teach that in history class.
You know, how about what was his name? The guy who killed everybody in Africa. What's his name? Leopold. Killed 90 million Africans. The Bolshevik Jews killed, now they're saying 60 million Christians in Russia.
That's why it's weird in history class that they only talk about the Holocaust.
Well, that's done on purpose, dude, because they want to protect that's the last firewall to the highest levels of power. And it's not the United States, it's not Israel. The United States and Israel, like, again, this is an old movie, but it's Mad Max in the Terror Dome. There's a very famous scene where Mad Max is fighting this giant guy in the Terror Dome, and he's just giant, like simpleton, and on his back is Master, and he's Blaster. That's the United States and Israel. But above it is Tina Turner's character, and she's the Bank of England. You know, there's levels to this shit. And it's really about, so when you look at one thing I want to talk to you about is this plan that these extreme Zionists want, which is for everybody to hate Israel. Because it's prophesized that the world will go to war with Israel and God will step in.
Yeah.
So these old crazy people are following a script, a biblical prophecy script, and trying to get everybody to hate Israel.
Wow. That is crazy.
Isn't it crazy? So the first layer is Israel wants to annex Gaza. That's the surface level shit. And then below that is the Greater Israel Project, which is basically Israel expands, and what they really want to do is control the trade routes that go. You know, like the quickest trade route to get goods from Asia and Africa is to go through Israel. It's the quickest land bridge, and that would be putting in a port and a canal through Gaza. So that's why they want control that area. That's the real reason. But even deeper than that is that this whole thing about prophecy right now. They're slaughtering red heifers. It's all biblical, dude.
Wow.
It's all biblical. It's coming. And it's kind of funny because it's like these guys are all in their 80s. They're all 80, 85, and they've been playing this game, and they're like, when is the Messiah coming, dude? I'm 85. They're trying to force this shit to happen. It's kind of like when you work at a corporation, after 30 years you get fired, you're like, what have I done with my life?
They're trying to play God.
They're trying to bring the Messiah.
Yeah.
They want to build the third temple again. They slaughtered the red heifers. They're trying to get everybody to hate Israel. And I think it's backfiring on them because they can't get anyone to move to Israel. Actually, everyone's leaving Israel. And there's places like Cyprus that are getting overran with Israelis, and they're freaking out.
Yeah. I mean, who would want to live there right now?
I mean, Israel was beautiful for a while, but it's like that October 7th false flag in which, you know, I mean, this guy, Charlie Kirk, assassinated, he was talking about how did they not show up after 10 hours? Truth is, they did show up, and they did the mass Hannibal directive, and they slaughtered a bunch of people because a higher body count gets people more freaked out. And you had IDF soldiers on the border talking about something's happening. You had settlers talking about what's happening, something's happening, and they were told if they say anything again, they're going to get court-martialed and thrown in jail. Foreign intelligence agencies were telling Israel something's about to go down. And when you know that Israel created and funds and arms Hamas, it all sets up for a false flag event. These are all false flag events to manipulate energy.
That is nuts.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Wait, so they fund Hamas, you said?
Yeah, I mean, Netanyahu's been on record multiple times saying it.
That is mind-blowing.
Just like Al-Qaeda. We created and funded Al-Qaeda.
Yeah, Osama bin Laden was planted, right?
Was a CIA operative.
I've seen that theory.
Yeah, 100%. Benghazi, what happened with Benghazi was like the guys in Benghazi were loose ends. They knew that the U.S. government had created, funded, armed ISIS, so they killed them. So they couldn't talk. So they let them die. They kept asking for more security. Hillary wouldn't give it to them, and they let them die. Obama, Hillary, and John McCain.
It makes you see war in a much different light when you know it's all orchestrated.
It's all orchestrated. It's all money.
Yeah. When
But
I was
it's
a
really-
kid, I used to like cheer for war. To be honest.
Yeah, we used to do that. They hit us. We're like, kill them.
Yeah.
And then we realized that Afghanistan and Iran had nothing to do with 9/11.
Yeah. They were just part of the plan.
I don't believe the story at all. Guys with box cutters controlled the plane. Like, dude, if you're on a plane they hijack and all they got is fucking box cutters, nobody's going to just sit there.
Hell no. How do you think they got control of the aircraft then?
Probably a remote control.
You think that
they
they
even
had that?
they used the planes.
Wow.
They could have used missiles that look like planes,
Damn.
drones.
Yeah, they
There
could.
was definitely bombs in the building.
100%.
The arts.
That's
there-
irrefutable at this point.
Yeah, well, there's some people that won't believe that. They just can't come to grips with it. They like good guys, bad guys,
Yeah.
and they've been brainwashed and programmed for so long that they can't. It's like crazy to me that they could think Hitler's a bad guy, but Winston Churchill's a good guy. You know, you're talking about the guys who are on the same level.
Yeah.
You know, Saddam Hussein's a bad guy, but George Bush Sr. and Jr. are good guys. It's total bullshit.
I think I know you're sober now, but I wonder if everyone took psychedelics, if it would reset their MK Ultra.
Yeah, my goal is to get black people to do psychedelics. Because I do shows all the time, and I'll see black people in the crowd. I'm like, "You ever done psychedelics?" They're like, "No." I'm like, "How is that possible?" I want to start a day where we all do shrooms with our black friends.
I don't even consider mushrooms a drug.
I don't think it is.
It's all natural.
You know, Bob Saget had a joke. It's only a drug if you'll suck dick for it. Nobody's blowing dudes for fucking
no,
for
you could
mushrooms.
pick it off some cow shit.
Yeah,
outside.
100%.
It's all natural.
I want to microdose during jujitsu. That's my goal.
Yeah,
You know, just during jujitsu.
it helps. It helps you lock in. I microdose.
Do you?
Yeah.
How often do you do it?
When I'm doing it twice a week, it's
Yeah,
just natural Adderall.
One of the most spiritually eye-opening moments of my life. I went to the K-Rock Acoustic Christmas, and my Tinfoil Hat podcast had just started, and like an idiot, a fan sent me chocolate mushrooms,
Yeah,
and I ate them.
smart idea.
Yeah, but then one moment I'm there, and I just heard a voice going, "You're doing fine. You're exactly where you need to be." And I never worried about my career after that. I heard
Wow.
the voice go, "You're exactly where you need to be. You're doing fine. Stop worrying about it." And it changed my life.
Holy shit!
And I stopped, you know.
think that was your higher self? You think it was God? What do you think?
I always think about the higher self. Like whenever you did something really shady, let's say something you would never want your mom to know.
Yeah.
Let's say it's the weirdest thing ever. Let's say you got a trans hooker, right? And you're just like, I hope nobody knows. Just think your higher self is playing you like it's Grand Theft Auto, and they have you go pick up a trans hooker and do weird stuff. Like, isn't that crazy? Like, we're just in Grand Theft Auto, and our higher self is trying to get us to do the weirdest stuff possible.
I mean, listen, our subconscious mind is what, 90% of our thoughts?
Yeah, 100%.
We don't actually control ourselves.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
It's pretty crazy when you think about it.
Yeah, 100%. Well, I've been going through, you know, I've had some really great episodes lately. I had these guys called the Outside Mind podcast come on, and they said something that really, really resonated with me and kind of changed how I look at stuff. And it's like free will versus God's plan. Like if you get into the story of Adam and Eve, you know, after they ate the apple,
Yeah.
you know, God gave them free will. And the key with free will is to line your free will up with God's plan. And the farther you get away from God, the more your anxiety, your depression, your anger goes up. I mean, look at all the people who are on the progressive left. Do any of them look healthy or happy?
Not at all.
I mean, do you want to tell me the way to live? You better look healthy and happy, because you don't. You look miserable.
Yeah.
You got your green hair and your nose piercings, and you're a furry, and live your life. I don't give a shit how you live your life. but you do not seem happy. So I don't know if you should be lecturing people on the way to live your life.
Mm-hmm.
So, and again, this gets into like people, it's like you are, something I learned in recovery is you are where you are based on the actions you've taken, the decisions you've made. That's where you are. You can change your life. There is no reality. There's only perception. And what you perceive becomes your reality. If you're always in a negative echo chamber, your life's never going to get better.
Yep.
You have to understand you can change your life. It doesn't matter what age you are. Some doors close the older you get. It's really hard as you get older. But you can totally change your life by changing your mindset. When you get sober, you're rewiring your brain. So you have this new operating system coming in with this old wiring, and you got to somehow make them mesh.
Yeah.
And, so much of life is that people either don't think it's possible or they run headfirst into it and then it never happens. And my friend told me it was like a butterfly, right? And he was like, when you chase a butterfly, it runs away. But when you sit still, it comes and sits on you.
Wow, I love that.
Right?
I love that.
Like, that's what it's all about, is stillness.
Yeah.
Detaching from outcomes, detaching from everything.
Not reacting emotionally.
Not reacting emotionally, not trying to gossip, I think the number one rule of life is, are you helping others achieve their goals? Are you doing, that's why I have 2 5-year-olds. All I want to do is teach them that.
Yeah.
Are you helping people achieve their goals? Like when you go to work and you think your manager hates you, how's that help you? And how's that help your company that's paying your check? Are you helping them achieve their goals? The more you help people achieve their goals, the higher your vibration gets, the more people want to work with you. The lower your vibration is, the less people want to work with you. And that's the whole thing with pornography. Pornography is a humiliation ritual. Now, I have a crippling problem with it. I've been watching it since I was 5.
Wow, 5?
And I was introduced to Playboys very early.
Playboy.
My dad had them, and I would look at them, oh my God.
Can you even get a boner at that age?
Yeah, I mean, I was the Kobe Bryant of that shit. I was ready for the big leagues early, and so you start getting in this low vibrational activities, and porn used to be, the people in porn used to be the people who had so much trauma in their life they couldn't work a regular job, right? So they had to go do this. And now they've convinced people who could work in a normal society that this is some higher level of feminism and sexual freedom.
Yep.
When it's just a humiliation ritual. I'm willing to do this deviant shit for money. And then you don't know what doors close on you down the line because you're doing this. And, it's very funny because, listen, I love women who put out. I mean, I'm a guy, and God knows I've enjoyed that. And no one's indulged more in free will than me, but it's been detrimental to my life. It's caused me a lot of freaking problems. And so I'm not sitting here lecturing anybody like I walk on water. I don't at all. I have demons. I battle them constantly. I'm a knuckle dragger, dude.
They say when you have sex with them, you're spiritually attached.
100%. It's sex magic. It's a magic ritual. That's why I had a bunch of my friends get canceled because they banged everything that moved. You're just building up this sex energy with people.
Yeah.
And again, I talk about this all the time. It's like, can you hold off instant gratification? The key to life is holding off gratification for as long as possible. It sounds nuts, but really it is. If you look at like jiu-jitsu versus, let's say, fucking mall karate, right? Karate studio that's for kids. They give kids black belts in 5 years because that's the only way to keep them interested. But jiu-jitsu, it takes 10 to 15 years to become great at jiu-jitsu, but it's holding off gratification to this black belt level, which is very special.
Right.
That's the key to everything. That's the key, holding off gratification.
Yeah. Yeah, they're using women now to infiltrate, right? They're hiring women to sleep around and get information.
Oh yeah, they're all like MK Ultra sexkins.
Yeah.
Obama's mom was.
I'm a little, I don't want to get in trouble, but Kash Patel, I had her on the show. I'll no comment on that one.
You had Kash Patel on your show?
His girlfriend.
Oh, she's Armenian. You know that. Everyone's saying she's Mossad, but she's Armenian. So I don't know.
But there's definitely within government and within celebrities.
100%. All of them are. at the highest levels. And that's why people like Ben Shapiro, that, you know, he made his bones on curb stomping purple and green haired progressives on campus. But the minute he was no longer authentic, pushing against, like, when people were calling out Israel, you know, and Zionism, he lost his entire crowd.
A lot of them. Now they're saying he's going to take over Turning Point, though.
Yeah, which is ridiculous, because he thinks he thinks Jesus is in hell, you know, boiling in excrement. I mean, like, he's literally talked about how Jesus was a disruptor. Like, he literally said that.
It goes against what Turning Point believes.
Turning Point will crash and burn.
Yeah, if he leads.
If he takes it over, crash. It's the dumbest thing. He did that shit with Breitbart. Ran that into the ground.
Daily Wire.
Ran the Daily Wire into the ground. He's a parasite.
Yeah. Well, dude, this has been awesome. I could talk to you for hours.
Was that a weird show?
No, that was great. Where can people watch your show, though?
Just go to samtripoli.com. I have a new kids comic book coming out called Chaos Twins, based off my kid. Issue 2 is coming out. Just go to chaostwins.com if you'd like to get an issue. I have multiple podcasts: Tinfoil Hat, Conspiracy Social Club, aka Deepwater. My new show's Doom Scrolling. Broken Sins, my comedy podcast. You can just go to samtripoli.com. You'll find all the lists there. And I have a new crowd work special. It's a dirty show, so if you don't like dirty comedy, don't check it out. But it's called Barbecued. It's my 3rd crowd work special. That's dropping. But if you want to see any of my comedy specials, they're all on samtripoli.com. And all social media at Sam Tripoli. Not official. Official Tripoli is my backup. You know, and then Sam Tripoli Comedy on YouTube. That's where you can see the special.
Boom.
The new one's dropping.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Buddy, anytime. I appreciate it.
Check them out, guys. Peace.
I hope you guys are enjoying the show. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps the show a lot with the algorithm. Thank you.